kind of always wanted to do a New York one, because New York's such an iconic city, you know, probably more so than any other city in the world, I'd say, featured in so much historical and popular culture that it's not even funny anymore. It's like every film nowadays is New York, because it's such just an amazing city. Looking from the outside, I don't know what it's like to live there. I've never even been there, but it feels like part of that American dream, you know, that thing that America, I think the thing that made America great was this idea of the American dream, that you can go somewhere and you can achieve anything and you can do anything, and New York kind of summed up a lot of that, with this just amazing skyline, and yeah, as I said, so much. Maybe if you're from America it's difficult to fully comprehend, but so much of America that we see outside of America is New York, and it's easy to forget that there are so many other places, great amazing places in America, because New York is just always there. But to be fair, a lot like London with the UK, there is a reason why it is featured, and that's because it has so many iconic buildings and so much stuff going on there, and it's the hub of so much creativity and events in, you know, American history, that, you know, it's easy to forget sometimes that Washington is the capital because New York is like the place to be, you know. One of my favourite video games of the last few years, The Division, well, I don't know if I'd count it as one of my favourite. I'd say it is, actually, to be fair. One of the things I loved about it is the fact that it's set in New York, but it's this different kind of New York. It's New York after this big virus hits, and it's just a very empty, desolate kind of, not so much like early post-apocalyptic, and you kind of get this feel of what New York would be like without the people, because ultimately any city is about its people, I think, and I guess what makes New York very special is the people there, as much as anything. That's one of the things which made London such a kind of famous city, I guess, is Londoners, you know. As years go by, that's, you know, London has become more and more multicultural. I think New York is quite multicultural as well. And while there is obviously that worry that you're going to lose that that history, what I guess these cities are building towards is going to be pretty special as well. So let's jump in and let's have a look, shall we? Explore New York City. Plan your trip by visiting top sites like Central Park and Empire State Building. So Google Earth, as well as being just a cool thing, is actually quite useful if you are planning on going to one of these big cities. They have a lot of the big main tourist cities around the world, and you can actually, you know, go and plan your trips and what you're going to see, what you're going to do, you know, and it's kind of cool, you know, that you can do that, and you can kind of plan your trip out physically and look at things and do that, and I guess even maybe remember stuff if you're coming back after a few years and having a look through. But let's jump into the Midtown Manhattan highlights. So Manhattan is obviously the island in the middle, which is really the main kind of focus. Let's get back to this. The main kind of focus, I guess, on of New York, even though I believe New York's a state, isn't it? Am I right in that? I don't know. But it's bigger than Manhattan itself. People just think of New York as Manhattan, but actually there's a lot more to it. I guess one of the things that kind of makes it special special is the fact that it is this island, and just the geography of it. You know, you have Central Park, which is kind of a weird thing, to have this like giant rectangular park in the middle of the city. You know, and you have just so many iconic buildings around the place. The one thing which is interesting, I've always thought actually about New York, is the lack of bridges. Like London is a much smaller area and they have fucking a bridge every 10 feet, but really there's not that many here. I guess there's quite a few here, to be fair, connecting up shorter distances. That London would have like one there, across this way. Like, there's only one bridge across that way. It's weird. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, let's go back to where we were, which was the Grand Central Terminal. As it says, iconic train station known for its grand facade and main concourse, also offering shops and dining. Yeah, very iconic is a word that is going to come up a lot. But definitely the Grand Central Terminal is a exceptionally iconic building. Beautiful building as well, like stunning. Zoom out a bit so it can actually load. Yeah, you know, London's got some magnificent train stations, but this is pretty special as well. He says as it loads incredibly slowly. Albeit, it seems quite hard to actually read where trains are going, but I guess you know. You've got this information desk in the middle. It must be awesome to work here. Like, this much history in a place. I wanted to actually have a look from the outside. Go back to the street view and see if we can't see it from the front. As I said, like, if I was to list here, like, all the things that, all the video games and movies and TV series and everything that features, you know, things like, which feature in New York, we'd just be here all day, wouldn't we, really? It's just incredibly, the entire city is just, I feel like if aliens visited Earth, you'd take them to New York. You know, you'd just be like, yeah, this is New York. This is probably our best city. I mean, I don't mean best as in like cleanest or whatever, but probably in terms of like history and culture, definitely one of the best. The Chrysler Building, beautiful architecture, shimmering Art Deco skyscraper from 1930, whose spire made it, once made it the world's tallest building. Not anymore, but yeah, certainly one of the most beautiful. I am a big fan of like the Art Deco stylings. I think that was a stunning era for architecture. I really like it. The Chrysler Building is probably one of the best examples, really. Let's see if we can. Is there anywhere on it that we can go? No, apparently not. That's fine. But let's try and get like a view of it. Actually, maybe there's somewhere inside we can go. I love these like doors where you get to kind of have a look inside the building. Oh, look at that. We're like, I don't know what. Is this like the entrance lobby? Okay, I thought we were going to go like midway then. It's taking a while to load. Oh, it's Christmas as well. Again, like these buildings, they don't do interiors in half measures, do they? Oh, I love the like Art Deco styles. This is so cool. Really, really cool. Man, again, imagine working here. It'd be pretty awesome. My one thing with like New York is that I'm terrified of heights, so like I'd just be experiencing everything from like the street level, but I reckon that's still a pretty good experience. Let's see if we can see it from like out here. Call the yellow taxi, that's cool. Yeah, amazing. around like central London, you have a lot of kind of quite tall buildings, but I think like New York is kind of the king of like skyscrapers, isn't it? It's just like everywhere you look, every like road you go down, it's just incredible. Look at the detail on the side of that building, amazing. I'm a big fan of New York, you can probably tell that. New York Public Library, New York City's flagship library, a Bergerac Arts building next to Bryant Park, flanked by iconic stone lions. Okay. If you had to come say to somebody like, "Oh, please show me like America," you would just show them New York, wouldn't you? There's the stone lions. This actually looks a lot like London, to be fair, especially with the lions in Trafalgar Square and stuff like that. It's amazing. And yeah, and I say that as in like, I know America's a very diverse place, and this is not necessarily like what you get everywhere in America, or even representative of a fraction of American culture. But as I said, because of the way like America is exported to the world in films and TV and all that kind of thing, it feels like it is America. It's weird. The Rockefeller Center, a famous complex that's home to TV studios plus a seasonal ice rink and giant Christmas tree. Why does it not have a little tag? Oh, it does. It's down there. I see. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty nice building. I could not imagine going to work every day at like the top of a skyscraper. I just couldn't imagine it. I think my internet's been a little bit slow today. Okay, we'll get there, don't worry. I guess they must have either been up, yeah, probably very early to record this, because there appears to be hardly anyone around. A little bit around there, maybe. That's a hell of a statue. I would imagine this place gets pretty busy, doesn't it? Rockefeller Center Cafe. Very nice. And St Patrick's Cathedral opposite Rockefeller Center, this towering neo-Gothic church from 1879 is known for its twin spires and storied history. That's a church. It's a shame it's got the scaffolding around it. I wonder if it'll show that if we kind of go down here. We'll have to try and have a look inside as well. Seems to be quite a lot of points inside it, so. That's not bad. Building to have. Oh, hey there. Oh, look, yeah. Oh, very nice. And also exceptionally iconic as well. Just that every time it feels like I've been to New York City so many times. I've never been, because it's just everywhere. And I also appreciate that probably everything you see in films and movies and video games is not New York if you live there. I know that from living in London, but you know, allow people to dream a little bit, you know. Oh, look at this. This is stunning. What a beautiful building. I'm not a religious person in it anyway, but it doesn't stop me admiring architecture like this. That is stunning, isn't it? I would go to church if this was my local church. just to sit in this place and look around, you know, is kind of incredible. Those pews do not look comfortable. I remember wooden pews from when I was a kid. They are not comfy. Let's see if we can't go up here a little bit more. What have we got? That's cool. That's very amazing. Wow. It looks immaculate as well, doesn't it? It genuinely looks immaculate. That's incredible. Radio City Music Hall. Well, you know, you say iconic, I say Radio City Music. It's difficult to bloody get to anywhere in here. God. It's difficult to see anything here because of the bloody thing. Okay, Radio City Music Hall. Where would that be then? It'd be around that way. I'm trying to see where that actual sign is. Maybe it's like around here. God, let's get down here and have a look. Oh, there you go. Yep, I remember that from the Division. Amazing that my go-to basis for New York is the Division, isn't it? Circa 1932 Art Deco Theatre hosting the Christmas Spectacular with the Rockettes, concerts and more. I hope we go to Times Square as well. Every time I think of Times Square, I think of Spider-Man. It's weird. That's very cool. Museum of Modern Art, works from Van Gogh to Warhol and beyond, plus a sculpture garden, 2 cafes and a modern restaurant. Where's this? There. Okay, wow, nice roof. Even your roof is art. Should we try and go inside? The MoMA. I think there's MoMAs around the world as well. Oh, hi, there's a... kind of feel like we're in some like cupboard at the back or something like that. A little bit weird. I like that roof though, that's very cool. Let's try and go in again and have a look. Actually have a look at some art. How's about that? Oh, is that Claude Monet's Water Lilies? It's definitely a Monet, isn't it, I think? Judging by the look of it. If you've never been to one of these kind of galleries, I recommend it, especially like you can see this guy here has got an audio guide with him as well. They're really cool, telling you all about the paintings and such. I went to the National Gallery and got that, and it was a really good day. Just wandered around by myself, listening to the guide. It was really good, actually. They've got some Van Gogh paintings and Monet and all that kind of stuff there. Now, probably the most iconic building in the world, probably the Empire State Building. Iconic Art Deco tower office from 1931 with exhibits and observatories on the 86th and 102nd floor. I mean, fuck going that high, frankly, but that's a building. You know, the Chrysler Building, I think aesthetically for me, I prefer, but the Empire State Building, no one can deny that that is just a magnificent building. It really is. I'm trying to see where we could possibly get a view. Maybe we'll get a view inside it. It'd be nice if we could get a view from I was gonna say it'd be nice if we could get, oh shit, the bed. Wow. Look at that. What a view. Oh god, they don't look happy. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. I imagine this is one of the... Oh my goodness me. I would never be this high up in this building. It's actually giving me vertigo just looking at this which is dumb because I'm not there. But there's Times Square, isn't it? I think is that Times Square. I don't know that much, but that's pretty cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. If we go back here, we can have a look at the next section. Travel, and down here somewhere. Bear with me. There we go. Explore New York. We go for the Upper Manhattan highlights. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. The grand setting for one of the world's greatest collections of art from ancient to contemporary, and situated in Central Park as well. Let's see if we can get a view outside, maybe somewhere around here. Oh, look at that. Perfecto. I reckon you could probably do a tour around Central Park as well. Okay, and an exhibition on there. It's just such a beautiful city. Really is. That'll definitely be in my places to visit. Bethesda Terrace and Fountain, Upper Manhattan Islands, bi-level lakeside terrace with large fountains and carvings representing the seasons and time of the day. You had me at Bethesda. Let's have a look. Let's have a closer look. It's pretty cool. That guy looks weird though, I'm not gonna lie. He does look a little bit weird. Come on, load up. If your internet's faster than mine, it will load a lot quicker for you. Bear that in mind. Probably shouldn't move things around too much. Yeah, it's pretty nice though, isn't it? I get a feeling though like this park is too busy for me. Like, I think the idea of New York, like, it's an amazing place to live, but in the same way with London, what pisses me off with London is tourists so much, because obviously there's like millions of people just trying to live their lives, and then you have tourists who just, it's not their fault, and they do provide a lot of benefits obviously, but you're just like, oh, you know, stay out of my way please, stop using my public transport and all that malarkey. So, you know, I do kind of understand that, you know, the way things look is not really the way things are in real life, having lived in a big city. Strawberry Fields, a quiet shady patch of Central Park with black and white tile mosaic honouring Beatle John Lennon. See if we can see that, shall we? John Lennon obviously was assassinated, if you can call it an assassination. He was murdered anyway, in New York, I believe. I think this is probably the wrong way. I don't know if you'll actually be able to go to the plaque or how it looks there. Let's try it here, shall we? Oh, okay. Ah, no, you can, look. Yeah, very touristy. Reminds me a bit of Abbey Road, with the famous crossing, which is not too far away from where I live, and God, it's annoying driving that road. The thing is, in the UK, legally you have to stop at the zebra crossing, it's called, with the black and white stripes, if you're driving. So, but people are just taking photos constantly, so it's like, if you actually just stop, you will be sat there for about 10 hours. So you have to kind of politely kind of be like, look, I need to get through, I appreciate you're taking photos. Again, the touristy thing, but I kind of want to get through. So yeah, that looks like Hugh Bonneville. It's a nice area, I guess. It's a nice little plaque to remember John Lennon by. Belvedere Castle. Gothic and Romanesque castle from 1869, set on the park's highest point, Vista Rock. Let's go right on that spot, shall we? God, I love Google Earth. Oh, it's snowy. Hey guys. Oh, what a view. That's incredible. Again, so many people though, constantly I would imagine, but that's really beautiful. Man. I guess it takes time to load depending on the resolution, doesn't it? Of the picture you are kind of going into, because that was a slightly lower res and it worked pretty well. Let's try like there. Rip. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's still wintry, I think, but not as bad. Just that skyline in the distance as well, just incredible. American Museum of Natural History, from dinosaurs to outer space and everything in between. This huge museum showcases natural wonders. Looks a bit like Hogwarts as well. Let's have a look outside the front. Hey there, Mr. Green Jacket. American Museum. Why has it got V's of natural history? I know that's just the way they wrote it, but it's amusing to me. Kind of a weird. It looks almost like a Swiss chalet. I wonder if we can actually have a look inside. I bet you can, can't you? Let's have a look. Yeah, I knew it. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's pretty cool. That looks very similar to like the oh my god, I can actually read some of this display. It's amazing. It looks similar to like the Natural History Museum in the UK, in London, which is an awesome place to go to, by the way. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of that. That's super cool. The Lincoln Center multi-venue complex. That's a home to many prominent groups like Metropolitan Opera and New York City Ballet. So the cultural place, in other words. Let's see if we can have a look inside as well. Oh, it's that building. Sorry, not that one. My bad. Ah, we got it at night, have we? That's a pretty nice building in itself. That's the actual one. Look at that fountain, that looks amazing. Oh, that is a magnificent looking building. It really is. That looks so beautiful. God. You can imagine why people would just love to visit New York. I imagine you would have to take many trips here to actually be able to visit all of these places, you know. Let's see if we can see inside here. Oh yeah, here we go. Ladies. Oh wow. We're right up front here, aren't we? The orchestra. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. The Lincoln Center. Very nice. Okay, let's explore the third part of New York. Battery Park. Historic park with Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty views and a ferry service to both islands. Oh, so this is the place that people love to do all the drone flights and things like that. That looks like some sort of like amphitheatre in a way. Let's get a view here, shall we, from Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. Oh wow. Oh, that's a decent picture. Shame about the, you know. Nice. Let's see what this was in here. I'm intrigued. Is it just like a little... Okay, it's just... I don't even know what it is actually, really. It's a bit weird. It's tickets for things. I guess it's for like, there are no crown tickets available today. It's like, oh, Statue of Liberty cruises. Okay, makes sense. And the Statue of Liberty, iconic national monument, opened in 1886, offering guided tours, a museum and city views. There she is. Let's pop ourselves over here, I guess, and have a look up. Hey guys. You're right there, guys. Let's change the picture. Oh god, let's get this one by the footpath. Oh god, that's funny as hell. And there it is. Looking good. Obviously the most iconic Statue of Liberty was in Ghostbusters 2, when she starts walking, you know, down the road, but or in like which GTA is it, where you go to like the statue of something or other. It's not actually the Statue of Liberty, but you know, it is. Oh, do we get to have a look inside the that'd be cool. Oh, we do. Oh wow. Oh hey, look at you, this selfie stick off the edge there. You guys, I wonder if those Indian guys are hanging around down there. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. It was just like, oh okay, we're not actually at the top of it, but we're kind of we're still pretty high. Oh look, these little dongles hanging off as well. That's pretty cool view though. Very nice. So crowded around here though, Jesus Christ, I would hate that so much. Ugh. Ellis Island now. America's historic main point of entry for immigrants from 1892 to 1954, now site of a museum. So this is where all of like the people who wanted to immigrate to America, have to follow the American dream and stuff like that. I guess this would be their entry point into the country, and probably start to realise that it wasn't quite the American dream that they were maybe led to believe, or maybe it was everything they kind of dreamed it would be. So like, just thinking about the way things used to be, as a society we've come so far in such a short space of time. Like, sometimes people are hard on other people, but you have to remember that there are still people alive today who thought apartheid was just a totally fine thing. You know, it's gonna take a while for like the world to kind of heal, you know, about things, and about realising that we're now all connected everywhere, and that, you know, the world is open basically to people of all colour, race, culture, religion, everything. Federal Hall Museum in 1842, Custom House on site where Washington was sworn in and the Bill of Rights was written. Yeah, pretty important then. You know, let's get a view outside, shall we? On the steps there. We'll go inside as well. Okay, we are just outside here. That's cool. Sometimes the most important buildings aren't necessarily the largest buildings. This guy's got no lower torso. That's a shame. Should go to a doctor about that one. I guess it's winter or just after a big snow here. Man, I always wanted to go to one of those hot dog stands and like get a hot dog, probably get food poisoning, but you know, that's the way of things. Let's try and have a look inside Federal Hall. If we can. Apparently we can't. Ah, there we go. Show me the insides. Oh, for God's sake. One of you better be inside this building. Okay, we're moving on. The New York Stock Exchange, high-tech home of one of the world's leading financial markets. Is that one right? No, that's Federal Hall. That's the New York Stock Exchange, sorry. Let's go down onto the road. Maybe we'll get to have a look inside here as well. New York Stock Exchange, wow. I love it when buildings were purpose built for something and there's still that same thing today. There's so many times where it's like, oh, that building used to be a thing, or it used to be this, then it was this. I love buildings where it's like, no, this is the New York Stock Exchange, it will always be the New York Stock Exchange. You know, it will always be this building. It's pretty cool. It's a lovely building, isn't it? Amazing. Let's see if we can have a look inside there. Or maybe it's just going to pop us out on the fringes once more. Okay. Anybody got a picture inside for me? I'm going to go with this one. Ah, there we go. This is where they're all like, buy, buy, sell, sell, buy, buy. I've never seen so many computer screens in my life. Look at this. It's like a branch of PC World in here. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Man, to work on the New York Stock Exchange, eh? And yet you can kind of see, I bet they wish they could move to a purpose-built kind of place, because, you know, obviously when they built this place they didn't foresee these, but I guess there's just so much history and tradition there that it's, you know, it's the way it goes. Trinity Church, historical Episcopal church and cemetery where Alexander Hamilton and other early Americans are buried. I didn't know too much about Alexander Hamilton, only that he's a pretty important person. People seem to really like him, and he had a musical named after him. So that's kind of all I really know. I think was he a president? I don't even know that much, to be fair. I completely missed the Trinity Church. I was there. Okay. Let's go down. Was this allow us to have a look outside of it or inside of it? Inside of it. Cool. Not as good as what was it, St Patrick's, but pretty nice even so. Pretty nice. Guys going for the classic bald head moustache look. It's a good look. Is this just like a public thing, I wonder? There seems to be a lot of people milling around the entrance, not really wanting to commit to actually sitting down, but there you go, I guess. The 9/11 Memorial Plaza balls and exhibits honouring victims of 1993 and 2001 World Trade Center terrorist attacks. It's amazing that the events of 2001 are still so vivid in my mind. I obviously was not, I was thousands of miles away from New York at the time of the attacks. I just remember watching it on TV and just not believing what I was seeing. Like, it was just, it marked a change in the world that I don't know we'll ever come back from, which was that whereas terrorism had been around, it had never been on that sort of scale before. It had been like the odd bomb here or there, maybe. I know that sounds trivial and it's not, but flying aeroplanes into buildings and those buildings collapsing and the sheer loss of life and everything about it was just, it's to this day it's still incomprehensible what happened. Just, I don't know, just mind-blowing, just absolutely mind-blowing. And obviously it's so sad, the loss of life, not just the people in the towers but the emergency workers, the first responders who, you know, bravely just ran into the building to try and save people. But those shots of people jumping, you know, from out of windows, and the towers coming down and the planes flying into them, it's just, that'll stay with me for the rest of my life. You know, even though I wasn't there, it's just one of those moments where you're just like, you know, to this day I know exactly what I was doing at that time. I know the house I was living in at the time. I can picture exactly where I was sat watching it on TV. I had to go to work that evening, and when I was at work we had it on the TV there. I worked in a pub at the time, and just talking to people there about it, and everybody, it wasn't even like a, yeah, people were just in disbelief that it was a thing. It was just shocking. And like, as I said before, that there, you know, terrorism was something which we were aware of, obviously, especially in the UK with the RA and stuff like that, but it didn't hit home the scale of it until I think that happened. And obviously everything that has come from then since, you know, just, you know, it's just incredibly sad. Innocent people dying is never a good thing, in any way, shape or form. I guess it's inside like one of the monuments. I might just seeing a view from the outside. I'm guessing that is where the towers once stood. These two squares here. I'm guessing these buildings were kind of rebuilt as well. Just, you know, I don't. There's not really much you can say about it. Like, if you don't know that much about it, and about what happened, just like, I've listened to a lot of people's first-hand testaments, you know, seen the films and, you know, read the articles and things like that on it, and it's still, like, just mind-blowing to this day what happened. Yeah, it's just the day the world went crazy, you know. St Paul's Chapel, a colonial-era Episcopal church with a 9/11 exhibit and a pew where George Washington worshipped. It's nice. Do we have a look inside? I don't really want to linger on the, you know, 9/11 memorial too much. You know, if you're too young to really remember those days, you know, or know that much about it, look it up, because, you know, the only way we will do better in the future is if we learn from the past. Let's see if we can get inside the church. It's like our third church today. No, we can't. I'm so close. Hey you. Why are you taking a photo of yourself in the mirror? It's weird. Where to next? Brookfield Place, towering waterfront office complex offering shopping, dining and ice skating, plus special events. Man, imagine owning one of these boats. I imagine they cost a lot of money. Okay, let's go there where it's saying. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, that looks nice. Look at that. Them some lights, indeed. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I think what I'll do is maybe wait a second, did we get to the highlight of Miss Lower Manhattan highlights? No, we didn't. Oh, let's just carry on. I was going to say maybe I'll do them on another one, but sod it, let's do this now. The Whitney Museum of Art, American Art Museum, exclusively featuring 20th century and contemporary art by American artists. That's a very interesting looking building. Let's just pop down here and have a look at it from the outside. Hopefully there's no... There isn't. I'm not sure I like the look of that building, but it is pretty unique looking, I'll give it that. Man, there's a lot of SUVs in America, right? Jesus Christ. We don't have that many of those cars in the UK. Chelsea Market, the Highline. Indoor marketplace renowned for its wide range of grocers, fish, produce, etc., shops and eateries. Can we get a look inside? I don't think it's that interesting from the outside, but maybe if we can get a good look inside, we'll be able to see some interesting things going on in there. And we can, although I'm not sure this class is as interesting. Not too much going on around here. It's weird. Is this like someone's design studio or something? It feels a little bit odd. These lights are pretty cool though, I'll give you that much. It's weird. Let's move on. The Highline, popular park, 30 feet above street level on an old rail line with river and city views. Now I know this from The Division. Yeah. You go up on this. It's pretty interesting actually. It's like a long walk through park area. That's really cool actually, I like that. It's a bit more run down in The Division than it looks here. Like that's really nice. I like that idea, just having that like nice walk above the city and like this kind of nature area when all the traffic's probably bustling around and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. I wish there was something like that in London. I'd definitely walk places a bit more rather than boring old bloody pavements right next to the road and stuff like that. Yeah, I like this. I like the Highline. That gets my seal of approval. I definitely recognise it from The Division though. There's definitely a mission where you have to go up on this. I didn't really think twice about it there, but then again, you don't really do, I guess. That's pretty cool. I might visit there again in The Division at some point. Do you think I should do like let's go and visit these places in The Division and then see how different they look? That'd be pretty cool. That's awesome. I'd love to wander around there. I'd love to like live at one end and work at the other and just have that as my walk each day. That'd be really cool. Chelsea Waterside Park, a riverfront hideaway featuring a basketball court, a children's play area, a grassy lawn and a dog run. I feel like they're scraping the barrel a little bit at this point. Like, it's a park. I'm sure it's really cool, but it is a park. Let's go down there and just see. Maybe I'm completely wrong, maybe it's something really nice. Why is there so many vans up there? Is this like a skateboard area? No, it's just a park area. I mean, it's a nice park, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think it's possibly worthy of me visiting it if I was going to New York at some point. I still want to know why there's so many bloody vans on top of this place. So, where's next? Museum Mile. The Frick, millionaire industrialist, former home turned museum displaying Western European art. Why does that like conjure up some sort of comic book villain? Millionaire industrialist, former home turned museum. It kind of makes me think of Iron Man or something. I didn't know why. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, it's nice though. Oh, it's very nice. The Frick. Ooh, that's posh. And so where does this millionaire industrialist live now? Also, why are we walking so slowly? Jesus Christ. I kind of wanted to get into another room, but, you know, we might be here all day at this rate. Move on. Metropolitan Museum of Art. Did we not? We did this one already. Hey, Google. Newer gallery, refined museum dedicated to German and Austrian art and design with a focus on the early 20th century. Okay. It's nice, quite a cute little building there. Let's go down to this spot, see if we can't have a look at it from the outside. Sprinkler Siamese. Okay. Fresh juice and smoothies. Wow, that is a lot of choices. So the person inside has to learn all of those. So when you go up and go, hey, I'd like a moonshake, he knows exactly what you're talking about. I know that's not really the focus of this particular video, but New Air Gallery Museum for German and Austrian Art. Why have that? Oh, fine. The Guggenheim, probably one of the most famous museums in the world, just because it's got a cool name. Frank Lloyd Wright designed modern art museum with an architectural significant spiral rotunda. The Guggenheim. I think this looks pretty awesome inside as well, doesn't it? So we'll try and, yeah, it kind of like spirals up, but you can't really see that very well from this. Although we can move, so yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. That's quite iconic, this place as well. Very nice. The Ronald O. Perlman Rotunda. The Copper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum. The Smithsonian Design Collection and rotating exhibitions are on display in the historic townhouse. Very, very nice looking house. And by the looks of it, pretty nice on the inside as well. Hey there. That looks pretty cool. It seems really nice. Like I'd love to go around here. That's cool. And the Jewish Museum, mansion housing world-class collections covering Jewish history from ancient to modern times. Let's see if we can't get inside. So you can get inside so many of these buildings. It's, oh man, you could just spend days, couldn't you? I don't know if this is actually going to get us inside, but it's going very slowly. No, don't want to. Oh no, wait, here we go. No, it's outside, okay. Well, we'll finish up there anyway. I won't do the final bit, which is the kids bit. And let's just quickly go through and see what it is. Central Park Carousel. Oh, that's quite famous. One of the largest in the country. Okay, I'm okay with viewing that actually. This is a long video now, isn't it? Is that the... Okay, it's inside, alright, fine. Central Park Zoo, set within Central Park. The small zoo features penguins, sea lion, monkeys and a petting zoo. Okay. The Balto statue, sculpture of the lead sled dog that delivered medicine to save Alaskan children with diphtheria. What a good boy. Conservatory water. Man-made pond for sailing and renting model boats with fairy tale statues and summer readings nearby. Nice. The Loeb Boathouse, Central Park, American restaurant and bar notable for its prime lakeside setting in the middle of Central Park. I bet that gets busy. Book ahead. American Museum of Natural History. Did we see that one? We did. And the Rose Center for Earth and Space. That's next to that one. Interactive exhibition including the space show in the Hayden Planetarium. So if I can see if we can get inside there. So that really, I guess, sums up our little tour of New York. Oh wow, that's pretty cool actually. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's very cool. I like that. So thank you so much for watching as always. Let me know if you've visited any of those places. Always intrigued to know. And thank you for watching as always. And I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.